1979's The Amityville Horror still sits atop many critics' lists of scariest movies of all time. From the opening choral notes of Lalo Schifrin's compositions, it's clear that something wicked lies in the spacious Dutch colonial, once the DeFeo home before the Lutz family moves in. It's a house with bad residue after Ronald DeFeo Jr. slays his entire family with a rifle in the early hours of November 13th, 1974. A year passes before George and Kathy Lutz, played by James Brolin and Margot Kidder, move into the house with their 3 young children. The family lasts 28 days before fleeing with claims of a haunted house. The house retains that dark energy, and the movie knows it. Each room that the Lutz tour with the realtor is interspersed with imagery of the DeFeo murders before the kids even move in. As the film moves forward, George battles for domain supremacy, even shouting at the malevolent spirits in the climax.
Damn it, this is my house!
Director Stuart Rosenberg worked with Sander Stern's screenplay, adapted from the 1977 J. Anson book of the same name, with one notable addition. The book's title purports the haunting as a true story. Anyone who remembers the mania surrounding the Blair Witch Project upon its release can speak to the power of the true story claim, even if it is fake news. The Lutz family's highly contested account of paranormal experiences, including stigmata on the priest who attempted to bless the residents, was widely believed upon the book's publication and, one could argue, led to the casting of the film's lead actor. In an interview with the AV Club, Brolin spoke about the other movie he was filming, how the role fell into his lap, and how his experience with Anson's book led to him agreeing to do the Amityville Project. While shooting Robert Butler's neo-noir action film, Night of the Juggler, James Brolin heard about the upcoming production, which was still waiting on a script. At that point, Amityville was going to be a made-for-TV movie. Anson did end up writing a screenplay adapting his book, but the studio rejected it in favor of seasoned television writer Sander Stern's version. Brolin explains how the book was the whole pitch, but as I'm shooting Night of the Juggler, somebody says, "There's no script, but you ought to read this book, The Amityville Horror, because they'll have the script soon, and they really would like to have you do it." So I was reading this novel at night, and it's 2 a.m. Well, I would hang my pants on the door of the bedroom, I'd throw them over the top corner of the main door coming into the bedroom, and all of a sudden, the pants fell off the door onto the floor. How I didn't hit my head on the ceiling, I have no idea, because I was at a scary part of this book, and it so surprised me that I started laughing after I recovered and said, "I've got to do this movie," and that's how that happened. Ah, stars. They're just like us. The fact that Brolin was so immersed in the story translates on the big screen. He had his work cut out for him, as the role of George Lutz is a cold, unfeeling one to begin with. But something happens with each new bump in the night, while 112 Ocean Avenue works him over as easily as the Overlook consumes Jack Torrance in The Shining. The furrowed dad brow gives way to a vacant brutality, and Brolin assumes the physicality of an increasingly agitated beast as George becomes more and more recessed into himself, which isn't really himself at all.
I'm coming apart! Oh, Mother of God, I'm coming apart!
The broad father-knows-best shoulders begin a proto-Jason Voorhees heave. The steady, deliberate movements become more snappy, reactive. Movies like The Amityville Horror and The Shining act like possession movies in a time when it was mostly women's bodies being invaded by the devil on screen. As Lutz, Brolin acts as a man untethered from himself until he and the plot work themselves into a fever pitch, making The Amityville Horror one of the great 70s horror movies to withstand the test of time, something that can't quite be said for the movie's sequels. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more SlashFilm videos about your favorite horror movies are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.